Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm so excited to be talking about my Oura Gen 4. I have been in the market for a smart ring like this for a really long time and I finally bit the bullet. So I wanted to just share my initial thoughts. I've had it for about 2 weeks and give you my thoughts on how I like it. Also give you a little bit of background on why I chose the Oura ring. Because I was initially between the Oura and the Ultra Human ring. So we'll get into the details of that. So if you haven't heard about the Oura ring or what it does, this smart ring helps you track things like your sleep stages, your blood oxygen sensing, your bedtime guidance. It gives you like a guidance on when you should go to bed. It also does track things like your stress, your heart health, your women's health. So it does help track periods. I am looking at everything on my iPad just to give y'all a little bit more insight, but it's essentially just a smart ring that helps you kind of track your health. And I was really in the market for something like this because I used to have an Apple Watch, but I just didn't like wearing it anymore. I don't really like how the Apple Watch looks. I enjoy wearing like just cute watches. Not that, I mean, the Apple Watch is it's just not aesthetic, honestly. So I wanted something different, and I actually really like how the Oura ring looks. I actually right now have it stacked with 2 rings, and I think it just matches with all of my other jewelry. So I wanted something just a little bit more aesthetic, I would say. So I decided to start looking into the Oura ring. So I did so much research on this. I looked on TikTok, I looked on YouTube, and I was really in between the Oura ring and the Ultra Human ring. The Ultra Human ring is Oura Ring's essentially its competitor, and it does a lot of the same things that Oura does, but it just hasn't been around for very long. And so Oura was the very first one that I honestly looked for because it's the one that's been around the longest. I see everyone with the Oura rings. So actually a little bit of a backstory. I initially purchased the Ultra Human ring, and the reason behind that was for, well, a couple of reasons. One, the Ultra Human ring is a lot less expensive. With the Oura ring, you do have to pay different pricing depending on the type of hardware that you want, while the Ultra Human does not. So my Oura ring was $4.99 because I got the gold one. I just felt like this is what went best with the type of jewelry I wear, and I was gonna wear it every day, so that's why I wanted it. One of the other reasons why I did want to pick Ultra Human over Oura is because Ultra Human has a lot of plugins like caffeine intake, which I was really excited to try out because it kind of gives you an idea of when you should start drinking coffee and when you should stop. Another thing that I really wanted to test out was they just came out with this new release. And it essentially is an alarm clock that wakes you up, and it just kind of pulses your finger when you have reached a specific cycle in your sleep cycle, and it wakes you up gently in order for you to just have a better day overall. So there were just a lot of different plugins that I really wanted to try from Ultra Human. So I order it from Best Buy, it gets here, and I open it up, and the very first thing I notice is that the Ultra Human ring is very lightweight and almost felt kind of cheap. That was like the very first thing I noticed. I had seen the Oura rings at Best Buy, so I already knew what this felt like. If you look at the Oura ring, you kind of feel like it's not heavy whatsoever, but it does feel just a lot more expensive than the Ultra Human. I felt like the Ultra Human ring felt very plasticky and cheap. So that was the very first thing I noticed. And I did also notice just that the gold was a little bit different on the Ultra Human, but honestly, I didn't really mind that. I was just really excited to try the ring and see what it was all about. So I open it up, I follow the instructions for pairing the ring, and the ring is not pairing at all. I try everything to get the ring to pair with my phone, and it is just not working at all. And I was getting so frustrated just because, like, obviously when you purchase something, especially something that expensive, you expect it to work. But I was like, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong. So I reach out to their customer service team, who was very honestly, they did answer like pretty quickly. So they had me do all these things to get the ring to work and to pair, and honestly, it just wasn't pairing. And that was really one of the things where I was like, okay, is this ring worth it? Because I just purchased it, it wasn't cheap, it's not connecting, and sure, it could be a faulty ring, but I was like, I don't know, like it just didn't feel like it was gonna last, to be honest. I felt like they were gonna send me a new ring and then in 2 months I was gonna have this issue again. I had seen a lot of people also talk about how the Ultra Human ring stopped working like 3 months in, and that was scary because I don't want to spend almost $400 and something stop working in 2 months. So that ultimately kind of led me to my decision to return the Ultra Human ring. I was honestly really sad because I wanted to try out all of the really cool features that Ultra Human has. But I think ultimately they're still a pretty young company, and I think a lot of their things are in beta, and it's probably not going to be as reliable as maybe the Oura Ring, just because the Oura Ring has been around for a lot longer. So that is why I ultimately returned my Ultra Human and ended up getting the Oura Ring. So even though I did return the Ultra Human, sometimes I still regret it a little bit. I was like, maybe I should have just had them send me another one and, you know, tested it out to see if it worked. But the reason why I decided no, I wasn't going to do that is because my sister also got an Ultra Human ring the same time I did, and hers also came in the mail and did not work. So I was like, I don't know, I just feel like this is sketchy, and I just ended up returning it. So I went to Best Buy and I ended up returning it for the Oura Ring. And honestly, overall, the experience purchasing the ring was like a lot better, just because like you go into Best Buy, you could see the different rings on a display, and it was just a lot easier. So that's how I ultimately ended up with a Oura Ring Gen 4. But let's just get into actually talking about the Oura Ring and what I think about it. Honestly, overall, just aesthetically, I really like it. I think it looks really cute. I love pairing it with like different rings. Sometimes I'll wear it just with this like pave ring that I got from Amazon, and I think that just looks cute. And then sometimes I'll put a third ring on. This is a Kendra Scott ring, and I just wear it like this, and I just really like it. It's very comfortable. The Gen 4 I think is a lot smaller than the other generations, so that's nice. And the inside of the ring is also very comfortable. It just has like a little divot that you're supposed to wear on the back, and I don't even think you could see that, but it's super tiny. Overall, aesthetically, I really like it. Very comfortable. It doesn't bother me at all, so that's been really nice. So overall, like I mentioned, I've had it for 2 weeks, and I can truly say that I do really like this ring. I do feel like I wish it had some of the other capabilities that the Ultra Human did, but again, the reason why I ultimately decided to go with Oura is because I feel like it's more reliable. So one of my favorite things that I've discovered while having this ring is just getting a better understanding of my sleep. I love waking up in the morning and just seeing how I slept throughout the night. So what Oura does is it gives you a readiness score, and it takes into account a lot of your different health metrics and gives you a score for how ready your body is for the day. So that's been really cool, just to wake up and be like, okay, what's my readiness score, and seeing like where I could probably work on certain things, like going to sleep earlier or having more of an active lifestyle. So my readiness score overall is pretty cool. There are a couple of things on there that I'm like, I don't really care, or maybe I just don't understand enough, like the heart rate or like your blood oxygen sensing, things like that. I think maybe I just don't really have a great grasp on why I need to know those things. But I do really like seeing my readiness score, and then also just how I've slept. I am a terrible sleeper, and ever since getting the Oura Ring, I've really just felt like I've gotten a better understanding of my sleep, and I've also found ways to improve my sleep overall. One of the really nice things about Oura is that you can also add what they call tags. And so for example, throughout your day when you drink caffeine, you could add the tag that lets them know that you've taken caffeine at a certain time, or if, for example, you take magnesium or different other vitamins, you can add those tags, and the Oura app essentially tracks trends to see how those tags are affecting your readiness score or your sleep. So I think that's a really cool feature. I haven't seen anything that I'm putting in as far as tags go that have affected anything I'm doing. I've only had it for 2 weeks, so you know, I think that's probably something I'll have to continue to update. And the more you wear it, obviously, the more the ring starts understanding your body. Another thing I really like is how I'm able to track my periods. So the Oura Ring does work with natural cycles. And so it's really nice because if you use Natural Cycles, it essentially always knows your temperature to help you identify what phase of your cycle you're on. I had never actually used Natural Cycles. I didn't really track my period anymore. I have a 4-year-old now, and so I'm not trying to conceive. I don't want any more kids, and so I really just kind of know my body and know, you know, what phase of the cycle I'm in. But it's really nice just using Natural Cycles and being more aware of exactly, you know, your fertile windows and when your period's coming. And so it's really nice that it does integrate with Oura. So I have really liked the fact that I can track my cycles using both of the Oura and Natural Cycles. The only thing is, Natural Cycles is $16.99 a month. And so I feel like that's kind of pricey, but I think some insurances do reimburse you, and they essentially cover it as a contraceptive. I'm not sure. I would double check that, but I just did end up paying the $16 in order for me to just be able to see how Natural Cycles works with the Oura app. So it's just really nice getting a better insight on your menstrual period, obviously, and your cycle. And so I've really enjoyed that. Another feature that I recently unlocked on my Oura Ring is the stress indicator. So I really like that because it really does give me an insight on how stressed I am throughout the day. And it's crazy to see how stressed I am throughout the day. And one of the nice things about Oura is it tells you that, you know, it kind of indicates what phase you're in. If I'm stressed, if I'm restored, if I'm relaxed, and it tells me things that I can do to continue to, you know, be in the relaxed and restored categories. Another thing that I really like is just how the app is very user-friendly. I like the UI of the app overall. I think it's very nice and user-friendly. I like how it just overall, I like how it looks. I think that's one thing that I really liked about the Oura and not the Ultra Human. I didn't love the Ultra Human app. I felt like it was like a lot of data all kind of jumbled up. And I think Oura is just a lot more clean. So I do like that. But overall, some of the cons that I think I've noticed throughout the last 2 weeks, one is the fact that you do have to pay a monthly subscription. I think it's $5.99, which it's like not a huge deal, but I wish that I didn't have to do that. Ultra Human doesn't charge you $5.99. But yeah, I just wish I didn't have to pay a monthly subscription after I spent like $500 on this ring. So that's one thing I don't like. And then the other thing is I really wish that it had a lot more features of reminders. For example, I do know that the Oura Ring reminds me, like if I've been inactive for a while, to get up and, you know, stretch your legs. But I do feel like I wish it would give you more advice when it sees that you've had a certain readiness score or a certain sleep score. It does give you information on the bottom, but I don't know, I just wish it was a little bit more detailed, I guess. And that's only because I've seen, I think, what Ultra Human can do. But I shouldn't be comparing it because Ultra Human didn't even work. So, you know, maybe it's not a good comparison. And maybe Oura just hasn't come out with a lot of integrations yet because they are wanting to make sure that they actually work. So that's one thing I'll give Oura. And then the other con that I have a quarrel with is the fact that the step count is a little bit off. So I type a lot because I work from home, and so obviously my ring is on my finger when I'm typing, and the Oura Ring essentially picks up when I'm typing and marks it as a step. So my steps for the day are wildly like not correct. I do think that at the beginning they were super wrong, like it was way over. Now I think it's starting to know my body a little bit more, and it is starting to track my steps better. But also I'm a person who talks with my hands a lot, so I feel like it also tracks my hand movement as steps. So to be honest, the step count is not that accurate. But I don't know. I mean, I don't have an Apple Watch to be able to track against it, but I have heard that the step count is wildly off, and I do notice that. So kind of a bummer. But other than that, I mean, there's not really anything I don't like about it. I like the ring. I think it's great. I think it really does give you insight on your health, and it does help you start thinking more on how you could overall improve your wellness, not only by staying active, but sleeping better and improving your way of life. That's one thing that I have, you know, really noticed, that I think I'm just more willing to change things in my everyday life so that I get a good readiness score. But with that being said, I don't think that this ring is something that you absolutely need. I think that there are probably better tools out there to help you, especially if you are someone who is like a huge athlete, someone who loves working out a lot. I don't think the Oura Ring is going to help you track your workouts the best. I just overall think it's a nice to have. I don't think you need to go pick it up tomorrow. It's not gonna like change your life, but I do think it's nice, and I think it's an investment on your health. But ultimately, I think the most important thing is making sure that you do something with the data that you're getting. Like if you're just wearing this ring and you're like, okay, I slept like crap and I'm not going to do anything about it, honestly, it really doesn't, like, what are you wearing it for, you know? So I think just understanding that the ring measures your wellness, but ultimately it's up to you to like do anything about it. So yeah, I think that's everything that I have in my initial thoughts. Obviously, I'll continue to wear it and give y'all my thoughts later on. One thing I didn't mention was the battery life. I think the battery life is fine. I wear it every single day. I haven't had to charge it more than like 30 minutes. I just take it off when I shower and I charge it and then I put it back on, and it's been fine. I don't regret getting it. I do enjoy wearing it. I enjoy seeing like my score every day when I wake up and checking it throughout the day. So I am going to continue to wear it. If y'all have any questions, let me know. Put them down in the comments below. If I didn't like touch on a specific topic or question that you have about the Oura Ring, let me know. Happy to answer any questions. But other than that, I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.